Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about the stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm reviewing this one because I'm thirsty. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there, I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a suit, or I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And that's not the case in this particular instance. In fact, this particular item has been in my fridge for a few weeks now, actually. So, if you watch my channel, you probably already have heard this before. But, I like soda. I think that's pretty well known, again, if you follow my content. And there is a particular place, a chain of stores that I like to go to called Rocket Fizz. And they are a specialty candy and soda place. And, I like to hit them up pretty much whenever I'm in the area. I've got one in particular that's kind of close to my sort of original home base, Of course, it wasn't there when I lived there, because why would it be? But whenever I stop out that way, I always like to try to get something. And I saw this and was like, well, that looks like a thing for Brandon Wenzel. But what is it? It's Boom! It's from Red Ribbon, established in 1904. Ooh, Red Ribbon Soda Works. This is their Cherry Supreme Soda. I like cherry stuff, and I like soda. So, let's get a thing for the thing here real quick. It looks like this. We'll kind of... Yeah, man. I mean, this has got to be good, right? It's got to be good. It's got to be good. Let's open it up. Twist off. Oh, please be delicious. And like I said, I'm just reviewing this because, I'm doing a run of reviews, and I'm, at the middle point, and I need something to drink. So... Ooh, it's got like a maraschino cherry kind of smell. Oh, that's good. So happy. For as many things that are wrong with the world, and let's be honest, there's a good many of them at any given point in time, realistically. But I am happy that I live in a time where it's like, look, I can have delicious cherry soda with relative ease at my beck and call. It's nice. I'm not just limited to the 5 flavors that my forefathers had, Oh, that's so nice. That just has a lot of really nice cherry flavor. And the nice thing about it is it's not one-dimensional. It's not just cherry. It's got almost like different types of cherry elements to it. Other thing that's interesting about it, it's not like a black cherry flavor. I've reviewed plenty of black cherry sodas on the channel. I'm still searching for my penultimate black cherry soda. But this isn't that. There's no darkness to this, This is firmly on the light side of the force. It is very sweet, but also nice and fruity. And again, it has different cherry elements to it. I also love the way it drinks. That is, I probably, for me personally, I probably prefer slightly more carbonation than this on average. But I think for a drink like this, where you're trying to really kind of highlight that fruity flavor, a little less carbonation works nicely. And it's not to say that it's lightly carbonated. It has some carbonation, it has some kick to it. But it still drinks really nice and smooth, just with a kick behind it. I like this. Tiny Brandon, little kid Brandon, if I'd been aware that this existed, I would not be here right now. I would have died before the age of 8 through a massive diabetic coma because you would not have been able to get me away from this. Oh my God, do I like this. And again, it really hits on like just all these nice things. There's like a maraschino kind of like almost overly sweet cherry aspect to it, but then there's also more just kind of a fruity kind of cherry to it. Now the only thing it's missing is like sort of a tart cherry, which again I would associate more with like a black cherry soda, but I think it would have been interesting maybe, a little contrast in there, but perfectly fine with it as it is. That's me just hypothesizing. Excuse me. It's just super good. It's sweet, it's cherry flavored, it's soda. I like the way it drinks. This is a really good soda. I like this a bunch. Every time I go back for a swig, I'm just instantly transported to being a small child. And because as a kid, pineapple was the best fruit, no two ways about it. But before I was aware of the glory of pineapple, probably my favorite original fruit was cherry. And man, oh man, I was one of those kids. It's like, if you got me a kitty cocktail, I'd be like, can I please get some extra cherries? They'd be like, sure. And they'd toss it extra. I'd be like, it would be like the Ron Swanson thing where, he orders, all the sausage and eggs or eggs and bacon that they have. And then he's like, wait, I don't think you fully understood me. That was me as a kid. I was like, no. Just leave the jar of cherries with me. That's how much I like cherry. And instantly I'm warped back to that. That's so good. I like that so much. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Absolutely and absolutely. Look, for me, this hits on a personal level. It manages to be really tasty, and I really like what it's doing, and it hits on a nostalgia level that makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. I like that. But like fundamentally, like it's still just a really nice cherry soda, and I don't think I've ever had one quite like this. Again, I've had cherry colas, I've had, plenty of black cherry sodas. This is the first one where I think like the way they presented the cherry flavor, I find it to be, it's unique but also familiar. And I really like that about it. So much so. If you watch my channel long enough, you might know where I'm going with this. I'm calling this the business. Folks, if you don't know what I mean when I call something the business, what that means is I'm basically saying that fundamentally I feel like this is essentially a perfect item, right? Like you could tweak it a little bit here or there, you could do a little bit, but like it's just structurally sound, And it doesn't really need any improvement. It's just a wonderful thing. And that for me is this. And I completely acknowledge that part of that is my nostalgia for it. For those flavors anyway. But like again, just fundamentally, I think that's a really good cherry soda. If I'm recommending it, I will flat out throw it out there. It's not going to be for everybody. It is almost overly sweet. It's the type of soda that I don't think I would like back to back on these. Some sodas, like a Sprite or, just a Coke or something, whatever. I'll drink it throughout the day. This is one of those ones that's a little bit more of like a special soda. This is one where I'd like to personally have it like just kind of around, just like maybe get a few of them here and there. And just, maybe on a hot day or, just whenever, I'm just feeling a little bit frisky. And that's kind of how I would sort of recommend it to people. Like, it's a really good soda. I definitely suggest you try it, unless you don't like cherry. But at the same time, I could see it being a bit much for some people. But I really like it. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, splendorous rest of the year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly happy Tiny Brandon-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, you don't know how happy Tiny Brandon was. Granted, part of that was because Tiny Brandon did not realize the magnitude of all the things that were going on around him at times in his life, but he would deal with that years later when he got older and more mature. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what was your favorite fruit as a kid? You know? I'm interested to hear that. Like I said, for me personally, it definitely changed a little bit, Cherry is definitely the one that I have the strongest memory of before pineapple. Once pineapple hit, everything else was secondary. But what about you? Did you change things up, or, did you just kind of, like, I like orange, and then you still like orange today? Nothing wrong with that. Orange is good. But I'd like to hear about it. Anyway, bye.